Alright everybody, so here we are and let's continue from here on. And the most important thing that I will be focusing on, that's gonna be the passport thing. This is gonna be the main focus on right now. As for WebRTC, it is almost done for today, not for tomorrow. Of course I'll have to come back and then start working on this and all. So things will keep going on. That's not really a big problem, but the thing is that right now I have to, mainly when it comes to even the plan, I even have to have a look at that, and then as per the plan we will just simply be going ahead. So we actually have many things to cover, that is right, but as for the things that need to be done right now, just a sec. Don't understand. Let it reload and then I'll talk one thing at a time. I think I've actually kept lots of things in this, so it could be hard to even just get them at the same time, but let's see how this is actually gonna be going on. Okay, so here we are, and over here mainly this was the section that I was talking, I want to discuss over here. So in this particular section I have to go through passport to learn about passport and WebRTC. So WebRTC I'm already learning about. Setup turbo repo, that is almost done, I will be working on that. Then Google Auth and all. So ultimately this particular section I have to do. After that I can only move to this better auth section. Today I will be, next auth section. So I will be completing this next auth today itself. As for this better auth, let's see what's gonna be happening. But yeah, overall things are just like this, this way exactly. When I'm sure that I will be giving 3 hours to one thing and then I will be moving to another one. So even if I'm covering many things at the same time, it's like all of them are being given quite good amount of time, so that kind of it's easy to learn all of them together. Alright, by the way, let's continue from here on, and I'm gonna be mainly focusing on the authentication. And apart from this particular thing, I will be first of all turning the chats off too, like this. And I actually have a course on Udemy, so if I actually just log in to that Udemy course, then I have, because that's quite practical, and that is why I'm gonna be just using that. And first of all I'll have to log out from here. It turns out that I do have many courses in the sense, in many IDs I have bought the courses wherever I got the good deal, and because of that thing it even gets hard to find the right course at the right time, but never mind, I know where that particular course is. And as for the notes right now, if I actually click on this, I think this is the one. So first of all we have to even go through the things that I've learned so far, like the overall passport stuff, and then I will be just going through the sign up with Google and all. So even that's gonna be easy to understand. Just a sec, I should be getting it here. Cache control authentication part, and in this authentication part, let's check this thing out, whether will I still be facing the problem or not. And well, it is okay, not really a bad thing. Let's continue from here on. And the next thing that I actually have to do, first of all, especially when it comes to working with the passport, sessions and cookies. So I do need to work with the session, but right now I'm just using session. Sessions are mainly used for creating, first of all, just a sec, and then passport starts from here, right? So ultimately this session thing. So what is the use of session? So there is something called session. You can actually create it on server side, and it is kind of uses some memory session, memory of your server memory, and simply it is used for storing some data and all. So in the session you can actually just store the values. How the values are stored, values are serialized and then stored in the session, then they are deserialized and they are taken from the session, it's just like that. So by the way, especially when it comes to the proper way exactly how this particular auth thing works. So first of all, middle is browser request express session, passport initialize, and passport session. First of all, browser sends the request to the express session. This is gonna be actually a middle, and then after expressation passport initialize, you have to initialize the passport, and then you have to initialize the session for the passport as well. So that first of all you initialize or you start using expressation. After that you make sure that passport is actually using that expressation, and that is why you just define this thing over here. Just after that if when it comes to login, suppose you are trying to log in that case you will be running passport.authenticate local. This particular method will be called, because of course you are using a local method over here, email and password, and that is why you are mentioning this particular thing over here. Once this thing actually gets called, that means the strategy that you are using, strategy.verify, and email, password and callback is inside that. It will be triggered automatically, and inside that you will be just using decrypt, compare and all, and you will be getting that thing done. By the way, once this thing is done, and if the user is actually valid, in that case you will actually serialize the user. And once the user is actually serialized, so you will have an object called the session. So inside that request a session passport.user, you will actually get the user data. And once you got the user data, so whenever a browser gets the session ID cookie redirected /secrets. By the way, you are redirected to /secrets. It depends like whether you actually want yourselves to be redirected, but whenever you log in at the time, browser automatically gets the cookie like session ID in the form of a cookie. Once this is done, then you can actually whenever you are getting the secret, so you can just say passport.session middleware. First of all, whenever you are sending a request to this secret, so this passport.session will run, and once this runs, it will mainly deserialize the data. Passport.session is mainly used for deserializing the data. So at the end of the day, there are two things, like there is passport initialize and passport session. Passport initializes it is mainly used for first of all initializing the passport, and then express session is used for storing the session. So you are using two things over here, express session and passport initialize. These two things whenever you are gonna be logging, at that time they will be used. And whenever you are logging, of course the strategy will be triggered and everything will happen as redirected over there. Just after that whenever you are sending any request to the protected route and all, at that time passport.session will run. This is kind of middleware, and it will just simply deserialize the user, ultimately session data and all, and it will actually populate the user in the request. So you will get something like request.body and request.user, and you will be getting the user information over there. And there is something called request.isAuthenticated. You can even check this thing once the user is actually deserialized. In that case, even you can check whether the user is authenticated or not, and that is why you get two things. You get request.user and you get request.isAuthenticated true, or as for that you can just simply redirect the user. Complete request flow, client sends a cookie, this express session finds memory stored in session. First of all, express session will be handling this particular thing. So whenever you are getting any cookie, at that time express session finds memory stored in session. Passport initialize sets up request passport session calls deserialization request.user and ID email, and if request.user is I think granted, that's great. And this request.session, this is how the session actually looks like. Alright, so overall things are like this. So first of all, if we actually talk about exactly what the flow goes like, so first of all the simple thing is that you are getting express session. Again, what is the use of this express session? It is mainly used for session, and also if you want to create a session on your server side, you will have to use this passport. It is a library that will be used for authentication. Passport local will simply give me a strategy for using the local authentication and all. Later you can add Google Auth and all using passport, that is also possible. Just after that, what you do, first of all, you just over here you use the session over here. To the session that you got, you are actually giving configuration, you are adding configuration over here. Secret, in the sense this is a secret for that particular session, will be used. Resave it, and these things both the things should be false, by the way. In here, by the way, you can learn more about it. By default the resave is gonna be false, and save initialize, it is also gonna be false. Though it is true, like resave in the sense you don't have to resave the session. If something, I don't know, I'll have to check this particular thing better. I hope I haven't mentioned this thing over here. So yeah, it turns out that I haven't mentioned it, so I will be just digging deeper into it. But yeah, these are two properties, you can know more about it. Then after that, cookie mainly sets the max age of the cookie, because as soon as session gets created, so kind of a cookie gets created, right? And there should be expire date for that cookie, and that's what we are mentioning over here. Having said that, cookie will automatically be set over there. Then we are initializing the passport, and we are adding the initializing the passport or session middleware as well. So whenever you first of all you authenticate, right? First of all, what will you do? Maybe you will go to sign up page, right? After going to the sign up page, first of all you will add user information over there. You will check whether the user exists and all, and just after that if the user exists, then you will not be doing anything. If the user does not exist, you will be creating a new account. And if you want, if you actually wanted, and even before that, passport will be initialized and this session will be initialized. These two things are gonna be playing role over there. So once you are actually trying to register, so at that time this is how we actually register. So where is that? This is the register route / register route. You get email and password, and then you are checking whether the user exists or not. If the user exists, then that's okay. You will be just simply returning from here, like okay, you cannot really create another account because the user already exists or not. If the user does not exist, you will be creating a new account, and after that you will be even logging the user. It's completely optional, but yeah. Request.user login, it simply locks the locks the user. Locks in the sense because the user got created, that means the user already has the user information. In that user information, that in the sense it has the password and it has the email. That simply means whenever you are calling request.user login for logging purpose, that strategy will be triggered automatically. And once that strategy actually gets triggered, so this is the strategy that I'm actually talking about. So once this strategy actually gets triggered, you will be returning this callback from here. And once the callback actually gets returned from here, then you actually serialize the data. Serialize in the sense you are serializing the user. That means in the session a session will be created, and inside that user data will be serialized. And whenever you are actually suppose once this thing is done, and whenever you are even trying to log in, the same thing will happen. Whenever you are logging in, at that time, whenever you call a method named just a sec, that must be somewhere here, login. Okay, so whenever you call passport.authenticate local, and you just provide the redirects and all, so ultimately this strategy will be triggered, and whatever you have code you have written over here, that code will run, and it will just simply create a session containing the information of the user. As simple as that. Again, this serialization and deserialization, both the things will happen over there. And whenever you are actually trying to visit a page, suppose you are trying to visit a page and that is page is authenticated, so first of all what will happen? First of all, again, whenever a request comes, that request will go to this particular session over here. Again, nothing will happen, session is already created, so you don't need to worry about that. Passport will initialize, and with this passport.session middleware will actually be playing the role of deserializing the user from the session. So first of all, this session express.session will actually find the session using the cookie ID, session ID from the cookie. And once it actually finds the session, then this passport.session will actually kind of, what can I say, deserialize the session and get the user information. And this is where I'm actually deserializing it. So passport.session will just call this particular deserialization middleware that I've created, and once this is called, the user is gonna be deserialized, and I'm just simply returning a callback from here. That simply means that once the callback is being returned from here, that means you can get request.user and request.is authenticated. On the basis of you can get this stuff done. So overall, this is the flow of it. Even I have just mentioned everything just at the top over here, all the things that actually happen over here one by one. So ultimately, we do know how passport works when you are actually working with local email and password. Let's talk about how it actually works when we actually start working with Google Auth and all. So by the way, environment variables and all, keeping your secrets, that's fine. What is being discussed over here, don't put secrets inside your repo, that's fine. We should not, we should be keeping the secrets something like this. And when it comes to getting those secrets, import pg decrypt, what is this, passport, okay, these are just different ones, fine. And then config initializes the data and all. Just after that, I'm using session secret is gonna be this resave and save initialized. Let's do one thing. First of all, learn about resave and save initialized. Let's know more about that because that is still confusing. So I'd like to know more about that. Tell me, just a sec. Tell me about resave and save uninitialized Sure, these two options belong to express session and they control how sessions are saved into receive, meaning if true, session will be saved to the store every time, even if you did not modify anything. So ultimately session will be saved to the session store. Okay, if false, the session will not be saved if nothing changed. So it's as simple as that. By default it's better to keep it false. It will ensure that if it is false, that means session, only when the session actually changed, session will be saved to the store. That can be a memory store, or that can be any store that you actually provide from your own side. True, more writes to the store, bad for performance, saves only when needed, recommended cases. Okay, meaning if true, creates and store new empty session even if you didn't put anything in it. False, do not create or store session until you set something to request.session. So ultimately whenever we serialize the session, every visitor gets a session cookie. Unnecessary for some cases, session only stored when used, better for privacy. So by default, yeah, it's better to just keep them false. And by the way, your coding usually used when logging sign up depends on memorizations. Let's do one thing. Typical recommendation, by the way, they are gonna be false. Normally it avoids writing sessions and all. Okay. So this particular thing I will actually be just mentioning over there. These two things kind of important, and I had better just mention false over there because that's what mentioned everywhere else. So just in here, so this particular thing is over here. Almost we've gone through it, and first thing and the second thing, and the next thing that I will actually be talking about, that's gonna be the Google Auth and all, and I hope I have mentioned it over here. So whenever I'm logging in, at the time I'm still using local secrets, so local, that's okay. That means the same code is just being repeated over here. Okay, let's go with this to a third one, label 3, authentication. How to use OAuth to authenticate your users without storing their credentials. Alright, what is happening here, whenever you are actually using any auth, at that time you just simply send a request over there, and whenever you just accept, at that time you just get some kind of information, and that simply gets saved, right? So first it's gonna be this. What are they actually asking me to do here? I don't know, but okay, never mind. Second thing is that redirected to authenticate. So ultimately I have to redirect the user to the authenticate page. Then I have to log in with the Facebook and all. After that I have to grant the permission. After that Facebook will actually give me some auth code, auth data. Once I got that, then I will send access token to Facebook. Really? Okay, so far I haven't really discussed the I haven't really used access token and refresh token in this context. That is why it can be a bit confusing, because so far what have I been doing? I've been just simply getting the user information. Like, so when I actually used better auth, at that time what happened? Using better auth, I just got the session, and as soon as I got the session, that simply got saved on the on the browser side, and that is of course session ID, and I just got everything else done. But let's see what happens over here. Secrets applications completing. So first of all, everything is happening. By the way, it should be false. Better if you keep it false, just like this. By the way, just after this particular thing, I'm getting the same things done, and I'm initializing it over here. That is also done. By the way, I'm not really using any store over here. That means memory store is being used. That is not a good thing anyway, but it's okay. I mean, yeah, we can create the session somewhere else. I can say that we can actually use a DB store in something, but let's see, that is something will be done later. Just after that, because I'm using a Prisma, so Prisma should be able to use some kind of DB as well, like some kind of DB store. That will definitely. Okay, by the way, over here in the logout, I'm just simply calling this. Everything else is getting done automatically. Updated get secrets route. So whenever when it comes to secrets, so I will check whether the user is authenticated or not. I will get the user information over there, and once if user is actually authenticated, I will get everything. By the way, nothing is changed over here. submit get a route. So submit get route will simply give me the submit form. Okay, this is even not a problem. Request dot is authentication should be there. This is something extra that is happening over here. First of all, auth slash Google passport authenticate Google. This is gonna be the URL first of all, and as soon as I go to this particular URL, I hit it. At that time passport authenticate, this will run, and it will use Google authentication. That simply means that scope profile and email. That means I will be getting two things if I'm not wrong. I will be getting profile and I will be getting email. I can be wrong, so I'll have to take care of that. And then there is something called auth Google secrets. So in that case, passport authenticate Google and redirects to secrets and login. At that time, I'll have to check exactly where these methods are actually being called. And after that, I have this login page. I will just simply use this for login thing and all. So this will automatically be done, and as soon as I'm just actually logging in, so whenever I'm registering, so I will register just like that. When it comes to logging in, submit post route secret, that is also fine. This is the strategy that I'm using. The first strategy is the local strategy, and this will be called whenever I'm signing in locally, and this will be called whenever I'm using Google authentication. And over here, whenever this gets triggered, whenever I'm trying to sign in, at that time I have the client ID, I have the client secret. Callback, I have that this is gonna be the callback 3000 auth Google secrets, ultimately auth Google secrets, and user profile. So whenever I will sign in, I will be redirected to this particular thing. And user profile, auth v3 user info. This is insane, but okay, never mind. I'll dig deeper into it. Let's even check this thing out. So ultimately, whenever I sign in, at that time this particular get route gets called, and at that time I'm simply redirected to the secrets. Otherwise, I'm kind of redirected to the login page if any failure happens. So what is the use of this particular thing over here? I have to know more about it. But overall, okay. I mean, it's not that bad. And once this thing is actually got done, then I will be getting two things. I will be getting access token, refresh token, profile, and the callback. Once I got that, so first of all, using the profile.email, because of course I will get that from there, and I'm just simply mentioning it over here, if I'm not wrong, that bro, you have to give me profile and email. So maybe email in the profile or something, I'm not sure, but something or the other will definitely happen. So I got access token, refresh token, and profile. Using the email inside the profile object, I got the result. Once I actually got the result, I'm checking whether the user db.query insert into users email and password value this. Just a sec. Profile, email, and then Google. So insert into users email and password. For the password, I'm just simply mentioning Google over here. That means Google will what? The password will, the hashed password will automatically come from the Google side or something. And does even password get saved or what? So whenever I'm signing in, at that time, yeah, I'm just simply inserting the user, and that time I'm simply mentioning Google over here. It will definitely play some role for getting the password and all, and just simply returning the callback from here. Having said that, I need to know more about it, this particular section, and that's it, nothing else. I can go to passport documentation. I can click on the username and password. Over here, things are quite understandable. Like you are not really doing anything important over here. Login prompt. Even over here, you are just simply getting the normal things ready, so no need to worry about anything. Verify password. When it comes to verifying the password, first of all, you are getting these things done. This is the strategy that you are using. First of all, that is gonna be the local strategy. Whether you mention that or not, that's up to you. You will be getting username and password, and you can get the remaining things done. If you return the callback, that means that succeeded. If you don't return the callback, if you actually return an error, like in this case, callback and just a sec. Callback, in the callback, if you are directly returning the error, that means okay, that user is not authenticated and all. And apart from this particular thing, you can even return a row over here, that means the user is authenticated, or you can return false, that means user is not authenticated and all. That's completely up to you. Then you can call passport.authenticate and local strategy over here, that means local strategy will be triggered if you actually call this, this top strategy I'm talking about. And once this is triggered, then that's it, you don't really need to worry about anything and all. Then establish session. Session is really important because of course you will be using some kind of DB store, right? So over here either you can use the memory store or you can use the DB store. Right now over here I'm just simply specifying that okay, I'm gonna be using some kind of store over here. And when it comes to using a store, that store can be anything. By the way, I'm using new SQLite store, so ultimately this SQL store is actually coming from there. You can check like which store is better for this particular thing. Like if you are working with actually Prisma and all, ultimately Postgres, so you will be using some kind of related. I can even check this thing out over here. DB store for Postgres. Let's see. Where does the Postgres SQL? No. DB store for Postgres for session. Just a sec. Management. Best session storage middleware for Express plus Postgres connecting to Postgres SQL databases. Prisma data guide. Okay. Is there something right now? PSQL. They're simply just connecting to that. Never mind. I can just simply go through Stack Overflow. And this is insane. What is he saying that he's using session secret? Okay, fine. He's using passport over there, that is actually fine too. But he's not using any DB store over here. So what is he? I'm looking for a session store for production app because I have error message warning, connect to session memory store is not designed for production environment as it will leak memory and it will not scale. Yeah, that's right. So we need to use some kind of store. I don't know what is the best solution for my production app. I'm using a SQLized ORM with Postgres SQL. I will be very grateful. Okay, that's great. Though an answer has been accepted, I think a more elaborated answer is in order. So the people who actually want to use Express with Postgres SQL for consistent. Am I using Express with Postgres SQL? Kind of. Yeah, because I'm using Prisma and does the same thing. Express has the session module to handle the session for. Though it defaults to memory storage that is suitable for development status but not for production. Warning. Okay, so for Postgres SQL there is a dedicated simple connector called connect pg simple. Once you import the connector pg simple, you need to pass it to the session like this. So pg session require pg simple session, that's fine. And then I'm just simply gonna be, once I got that at the session is gonna be session config. Okay, not really worried about this. PG session I have over here. So just a sec. Store is gonna be a PG session over here, and that's what I'm mentioning. Apart from this particular thing, pool session and all things are mentioned here. Okay, so ultimately this is the DB store that you will actually be using. Connect PG simple. This is the database, and yeah, it's being quite used a lot nowadays. That means we can use this one. And when it comes to using this, so it's pretty much simple. First of all, you have to get the expression, that is obvious, and then you can actually require it, and it's kind of complicated. You can just simply import it. First of all, call the session. Once it is done, then just a sec. This actually returns a method. That means you will have to call that method. Then inside that you are actually providing the session, your express session. That means first of all you are using this middleware. That means you are defining the configuration for the session, and then you are adding this store section over here. It will simply tell that okay, this is the store that you have to use, and this is the session, express session for that particular store. Using that, with the help of session, you have to just get the things done. And that is it, nothing else. Okay, so overall things are same. And apart from this, by the way, that's it. You don't really need to worry about it. Now session will automatically be created inside this particular PG require PG express session will be created inside PG session, like connect PG simple. But the question is, how will I get my session? Once npm install, you need to create session table database. For that you can Okay, once npm is installed the module, you need to create a session table in your database. So I need to create a session table in my database. For that you can use the table.sql file provided with the module psql my database node modules connect with simple table sql. So kind of the session will be saved on my Postgres SQL only, but for saving that I will be using this particular module connect page simple. If I actually click on this and then create a table session, then sid where call not null, session is gonna be this expires, and this is what I'm actually gonna be doing. Okay, interesting. And one more thing, maybe could be better, db store for, if I get something better, Prisma for session. So Prisma instant plus NORM for simpler DB workflows. Prisma session store, I think it does have something. Prisma session store, this is just like this. I mean, okay. And Prisma session store, I got this Prisma session store. Once I got that, then this is the Prisma session store. I'm just simply giving it the Prisma client and getting everything else done. 16 days ago last published. Okay. Oh, that was too much. An express session is to just a sec. Yeah. An express session is store implementation for the Prisma ORM, want to flexibility, scalability, blah 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 blah. Prisma session store simplifies access to tried true expression. I think I can even use this one too. Ultimately, this is the mainly for Prisma, so I'll do it. But I'm not sure. There can be the most famous one. I would like to rather use that one. It's being used like this. Even the downloads had been decreased, so I don't think so that this could be the best one. So this is one of them. Why does the ORM session? Let's take the help of AI right now. For using Prisma as session store with the Node.js especially Express, the best solution is to dedicated npm pages like this or this. What does this do, by the way? Because I wanna select the best one, so let's see which one is being used the most, and I will be going ahead with that. Oh, come on. Okay, that's bad. I don't know, sometimes I face this copying issue on Ubuntu, mainly on browsers. Rabi, what is the name of it? Well, this is insane. I mean, too insane. The first one was better. Am I crazy that I'll be using this? Let's close this one. For Prisma session store, I will be using this one. Let's see how it's actually gonna be going on. And when it comes to using this, so I will just specify the things directly over here. It is actually asking for the Prisma client, so I will be giving it and the check period and all. So these things are actually gonna be like this. So this particular session will be used, and it will actually use it. I mean, save the data on the Prisma database side. So that is also fine. So what does this do mention over here? Just a sec. Application error. Wow, thank you. One more time. Interesting. Never mind. Let's click on this one. And they are simply specifying the things like this. Okay, fine, I got the idea exactly how it's used. The another thing is that where is the schema for it? Okay, this is the schema for it. Model ID session SID, that's gonna be the session ID, and data and expire. So I will have to add this. Don't forget to run npx run Prisma generate to generate Prisma client. Then if you are using @next schema, you can define your session type. Fine. And if you are using MySQL as your data source provider, you may also need to change the type of your data column to text. Use your database after table session modify data, but I'm not using MySQL over here. That's fine. So Prisma store is gonna be that express session it will be using. That's fine. Prisma store require, and before after TypeScript. So Prisma store, from this I'm getting the Prisma store. After that I'm actually creating this Prisma session store, and it is being created using this, so it is kind of a method, so that is fine. Import Prisma from this particular thing. So before this used to happen, right now this is happening. Prisma session store. Oh, like we can directly get the Prisma session store. Interesting. Prisma session store and then capital letter Prisma session store. So that means they're just directly getting the Prisma session store from there. Yeah, we need to call that unnecessary. Like they're simply saying that just get the Prisma session store, and that Prisma session store indirectly uses the Express session, so you don't need to worry about that. Once you got your Prisma session store, at that time you can just simply use the Prisma session store over here. That's amazing actually. I think that's the same thing they are doing everywhere. At the top, what they are doing, they are getting Prisma session store directly. This is kind of the class, and then they are just simply initializing that class over here, giving it some values like Prisma and some other things. Check period, db record id session id true, db record id function undefined. What is the use of these? I will be knowing it. I have to know it right now, but I'll be knowing it. Tell me about check period, db, these things, because this is the one that I will be using in my WhatsApp clone, and I think this could be the best one, mainly because I'm using Prisma over there and I need to have a DB store. In that case, why not this one? Tell me about these FIELDs fields. So first of all, check period. What it does, controls how often expired sessions are automatically cleaned up from the database. So 2 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 1000. So 1 second, 60 second, 2 minutes. Alrighty, meaning every 2 minutes the session store checks for expired sessions and deletes them from the DB. Interesting. Why it's useful? That's fine. DB record ID session ID. Decides whether the DB primary key equals the session ID. If true, the session ID becomes the DB record ID. Session ID becomes the DB record ID. Session ID ABC, DB record ID ABC. No separate ID are generated by DB. False, DB uses its own ID and session ID is stored as a separate file. So DB ID in the sense the ID generated by the Prisma, right, in the database. So if DB record ID session ID, so record ID can be equals to session ID, it's up to that. It should never be that equals to that, so I had better just make it false. And if false, DB uses its own ID and session session ID is stored as a separate field. Your value true, so your system will use session IDs as a record IDs. Session IDs as a record IDs. Record IDs, session IDs. Don't know it properly. DB record ID function, what it does, allows you to generate custom record IDs before saving. Undefined, meaning you are not customizing ID generation with the record session ID to the session ID from Express session is used directly as DB. If you want a prefix, this UID replacement function session ID says, and this something like this you get. Putting it all together, by the way, when it comes to session ID, that simply means that session ID must have been mentioned over here. So if I go in this particular section, and where is the schema they have mentioned? They have mentioned the schema over here. So they have a default ID that will automatically be created. They have session ID, and that's gonna be unique, and they have this particular ID. So session ID is okay, that will be created. That means record ID is this, and both of them are gonna be the same. Okay. What's wrong with the network? Come on. Network 0 kbps. That is interesting. Alright, it's getting back on track. Everything else is okay. Tell me more about record ID versus session ID. Just like this. Session ID, this is a unique identifier that Express session generates for each user. It is stored inside the cookie on the user's browser, example session cookie, name this connector.sid. That is right, I've seen that. After this decoding, the raw session ID might look like this. What is record ID? Record ID database record. This is the primary key used inside the database table, storing sessions. Depending on the configuration, it may or may not match the session ID. By the way, that is good. What is the best approach? What's the best approach? Something like this. Let's even check this thing out. Having said that, when it comes to Prisma, at that time, let's compare both approaches. Direct session ID as recorded through one lookup by primary key. No secondary index needed. Good for lots of session. It's right. Separate UID plus session false. Needs query where session ID is gonna be this, requiring indexing session IDs slightly overhead. Below to faster and simpler. So I will be making it true, and that's why it's been mentioned over there. But the question is, or the thing is that if that's should the primary key integer or string? Let's even check this thing out. Great question. For session storage specifically, the primary key should almost be a string, not an integer. Here's why a string primary key. Like this, your primary key is integer, you must generate auto increment integer, store the session ID in separate column index. That's why, I mean, that is why I was just simply wondering that if that is actually a number, if the and then session ID is actually going to be a number, that's gonna be problematic. So primary key should be, then session ID should be a string, and that should be unique. In that case, I will have to worry about it. Issues needs extra index on session ID, requires mapping and all. That's right. So yeah, I mean, security considerations and all. So ultimately, I will be using something called UUID for creating that, and this is how I will be going ahead. That simply means the main problem is that over here this is fine, but on my WhatsApp side I've actually made a mistake. Not I've made that integer, if I'm not wrong. So open with the code, because at the end of the day I will be using everything right here, right? And when it came to the schema over here, Prisma schema, what I've done over here, that everywhere that's gonna be this, and that is insane. So what I want over here, that first of all make the ID string, and let's make it a string by default. So it's gonna be actually a string, it's gonna be ID, and by default it will be using the UUID, just this one. I mean, this should be okay. Let's even check this thing out. It's a lot, I know, but if I just copy this thing and just paste it over here, is this fine? Let's check this thing out. Yes, overall user model, UID prime, good things in your schema. I simply telling me about good things and all. Potential issues, blah 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 blah. Password should ideally be hash. Name fine, name is fine, but ensure that. Okay, I will be hashing the password. That's not really a big problem. Oh, by the way, email, phone, and both, but optional. That's right. Haven't I done that? I have this phone number, and this phone number is unique. Both of them are unique. Yeah. So this thing is done. This thing I'll actually copy from here. That's it, and I will be pasting it everywhere. So this is the first model that I have created, user model. Then this is the chat model. Things are gonna be problematic. Why? Because if I change from integer to string, I have to change many things in the sense. Just wait and watch. Control B. First of all, let's get this thing done. Chat is done right now. I will have to change many things. I'll be just changing them from top to bottom. But first of all, let's make it a string. So this is also going to be string message. Then contact number will have string, just like this. Then chat participants. Yeah, I'm already getting the errors right now. I knew that. This thing is done. Then the thing is, oh, what the heck? Message status. it should have this. Okay, that's fine. So id string this one just like this, UUID. Then message reaction, again it will have the same, just like this. And then deleted chat, just like this. And deleted messages, they're gonna be again just like this. Ultimately, I know I will be fixing the errors as well. I know why they are actually there, because I have changed the id type from integer to string, and that is the problematic thing. The thing is that why am I doing it? Mainly because I will be using a DB store over here. That means I'll have to create the session and all, and I don't want my record ID. I want my record ID and session ID to be same, but I don't want them to be a number, because if that is a number, anyone can guess that, and that's gonna be problematic. So many first of all tables are here, sorry for that. The thing is that when it comes to clone of WhatsApp, it will definitely have this much thing, so that's obvious, right? Even this is not the full WhatsApp clone. There can be some other things as well, some other missing things, so I'll have to even take care of them. But right here, caller user, okay, @ relation, calls made fails, references to caller ID, receiver ID. What is the problem here? The problem is this: the caller that I actually have, this caller ID, this should be a string right now. This is the first thing, and then receiver ID, this should actually be a string. So I can do one thing, copy it and paste it. So wherever I have the IDs right now, all those IDs should be a number now. Same over here, I have status ID just like this. This one should be integer. I have user ID, this should actually be a string. So right now they are gonna be string. Just below that I have status. Over here I have user ID if I'm not wrong in the status, and that's gonna be this one, user ID, gonna be a string, no error. Then inside blocked user I have blocker ID and blocked ID. So this is gonna be string, this is also gonna be string, fine. Inside my starred messages I will have the user ID, that is for sure. I'll have messages ID, that is for sure. So they are gonna be right now strings, not the integer, not an integer, not even the. I will have archived chat will have user ID, string, chat ID, string, no error. Same thing, I have to just repeat this thing everywhere. So let's do it really quick, and then I'll be done. Just like this. By the way, the main thing hasn't even started yet. I mainly wanted to just a sec. I hope I'm not doing anything wrong. I'd better focus first of all, and then I'll talk about everything else. The main thing is to learn about passport with Google Auth, and that I haven't done yet. Never mind, that will be done. Message ID is here, user ID is here, fine. Chat participant, chat ID is here, user ID is here, that's also fine. Contact owner ID is here, fine, and that's it. Message, chat ID is here, and that is it. That's sender ID, sender ID, sender ID. Sender ID is here. Now is this okay? Yeah, seems to be. And after everything is done, by the way, here nothing else is remaining. That is a good thing. So yeah, this is how we've got the things done right now. When it comes to the models that I've actually created, so there are actually many. Even I will have to make changes to the model. So it is not like these are the final models. I will have to add many fields later. So I have to just keep that particular thing in mind. Apart from this particular thing, I can say just here. This is the link going to be over here. Use this for DB store, database store, just like this, for sessions of course. Okay, so this particular thing is done right now. What is the next thing that I can do over here? Close this, and the next thing is actually to learn about it. That means I had better just start the learning. Oh yeah, this is how it's gonna be going on. By the way, I'm gonna be just taking a break for 5 minutes, and then I will actually start this thing from here on. So just give me 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Hello. Where are you? Like you are looking for the pages and all. It's okay. It's okay then. That's what I wanted to ask. Okay. Okay. It turns out that what the hell? The mic was on, but never mind. I just wanted to know about something, so that is why I just had to make a call, and that's done right now. So not really a problematic thing, but never expected that the mic was on. Never mind. Let's continue from here on. Alrighty. So crazy stuff. Alrighty. So the next thing is gonna be. Alrighty. So many schemas are there, simply blowing my mind away right now, so I'm just gonna be skipping that. Not kind of skipping, I need to learn about passport with Google Auth and all, and then I can just simply go ahead from here on. So right now, what am I focusing on? I'm mainly focusing on the which part? Let me have a look over here. Serialization, SQL storage first of all being used over here, and then passport.serialization function, and it will just be serializing the user that I get. So process.next take function db call user. Okay, when you are even serializing the thing, so at that time you have to just serialize the ID and username. That's it, not the password. That is something that you have to keep in mind. And when you are actually deserializing the user, so you can deserialize the whole user. So it's something that you have to keep in your mind. By the way, good for security purpose and all. Then there is something called logout. It will just simply be logging out. Logging out, that means it will just simply remove the session and all. Don't worry about that. And then sign up, and that is it. Mainly when you are signing up, at that time you can just call this particular method request.login. It will simply trigger the local strategy that you are using, and using that it will just simply because you are just providing user right here, right? So user has email as well as the password. So it will get the email and password over there in the local strategy, and you will be just simply, your user will be serialized into the session and saved, and whenever it's needed, it can be deserialized as well. So it will just simply go ahead like this. So almost everything is done, but so far these things have been all about username and password. Username in the sense, in the place of username you can even use your what is that thing called, email. But for using email you will have to make some changes in the sense, if you just go here right now and go to establish session, not really this one, in the verify password section, and over here you are simply saying that from here I will be getting username and I will be getting password. Okay, now if you actually, you can name it email, but if you directly name it email, nothing will happen. You will have to specify some extra property over here, that instead of username I will be getting the email over here. It's just gonna be like that. By the way, you can just think of it as an email, and you can directly go from here. Otherwise you can actually specify some property over here, and that some property I must have mentioned somewhere or the other. Let's check that thing out. Have I mentioned here? I don't think so. In this strategy I'm damn sure that I haven't mentioned here, but let's see. Username, I'm just directly using username, and this username is actually taking the place of the email. So you can go like this, you can actually use the username, but in fact that username is actually going to be the email. So this is not the best way, if I'm not wrong. So what can I actually do? I can actually just specify some kind of property over here. And where did I learn it? in the passport section, starting files, WhatsApp, true feedback, I don't have those things here. Fine, if I go to downloads session, okay, I must have this thing over here. Let's open it right now. Open with the code. Thankfully I have this, I haven't deleted that yet. Otherwise I would have to search the things again, because I wrote this code and then it's been a while. So what is the thing that I'm talking about over here? That where is the, okay, this is the strategy over here. This is the extra thing that I'm using, that username field, and that's actually gonna be the email. By default username field is email, okay, that is something that you have to keep in mind. But sorry, by default that field is username. If you don't provide any kind of field over here, property over here, configuration I must say, and if you actually want to get the email over here, then you will have to say that username field is gonna be email. So by default username field is username, and now you are simply saying that that field is going to be email, and that is it and nothing else. So I can do one thing, that copy this all from here, and once this particular thing is done, then after that I have this strategy over here. Apart from this particular thing, I can have the same thing, or I can just make it like, or just like this, and I can have the same over here. So they are exactly the same thing. The only difference is that it is actually using email in the place of username, and the upper one is actually using the email, I mean username. Remaining things are the same, so I don't really need to worry about anything right now. So this particular thing is done. Anything else that is remaining in this particular code? There is really nothing, and I've gone through it all, so I don't need to worry about it. Having said that, it actually creates the session on memory. That means that session is not gonna be visible over here. In case if I want to use the session, which session will I be using? So let's look for a session and try to use that. First of all, let's try see how it works. In order to see, first of all, inside views I have these pages. I have login page, I have register page, I have secret page, and if we actually have a look over here, so this is the normal home page, you don't really need to worry about it. This is the secret page, but even before that I'm checking whether the user is authenticated. If the user is authenticated, I will be rendering that secret.tjs page, otherwise I will not be. Otherwise I will just simply redirecting to the login page. Simple. Then I have login page over here, simply gives me the login page, should be easy. I have register page over here, simply gives me the register page, like that EJS file, HTML file ultimately I can say. Then I have this register route over here, the user actually gets registered, and you just simply hash the password and all, and once the password is hashed, you just simply call request.user. This user actually contains email as well as password both, and because it contains these both, and whenever you are logging, this particular strategy will be triggered automatically and things are gonna be done. That means user will be logged in automatically. And not only that, let me just collapse this for now. Then you have something called login over here. I just hope you have. So this is the register thing. Where is the login? This must be the login. Yeah. So over here I'm just simply saying that passport.authenticate. Whenever I go to /login, at that time this particular kind of middleware will run, and again it is simply saying that that's gonna be for local authentication using username or password or email and password, and on success I will be redirecting to /secrets, otherwise I will be redirecting it to /login. As simple as that, and nothing else. This is simply the kind of strategy. So I can make it a strategy that you are actually using. It will automatically be triggered, and then you are serializing the user, you are deserializing the user, and that is it. If I actually run it right now, so ls npm run dev, database is not running. What is the problem over here? Database. Let's go to the top. Over here, this is the configuration that I'm using. That means in my Postgres running, so docker ps. My Postgres is not running, so let's simply start that right now. Docker start, and what I want to start Postgres and db, just like this, and alrighty, it started right now. ls. Then apart from this particular thing, what can I do? that should be able to run it right now. npm run dev, and now it is running. What is the next thing? Let's go here and localhost 3000, just like this. So I'm here, I can just simply register a new account, and registering a new account, that's gonna be demo account. First of all, let me enter the email. So demo@gmail.com. Let's enter the password. So password ##90, not really this one. Password #1234. Register, and here I'm logged in. I can log out, and when I am logging out, nothing is happening. Crazy. Why? Hashed password was this. That's fine. Whenever I logged out, or whenever I'm logging out at that time, there is no method. Interesting. So I actually have to create a method that's gonna be app dot, again, get or post, don't know. So for checking this particular thing, I need to go to my logout page, logout button, and that logout button is where? That logout button is exactly, I don't know where. That is inside secrets.js, and whenever I click on this particular button, /logout is called, and that's it. That should be a get a request to get. I'm redirected there. /logout. I don't even have that particular page right now. So whenever I'm calling href/logout, so that's gonna be a get request, and that get request will simply log out the user. So what I can do, inside my index.js file, I can say that app.get, and this is gonna be /logout. I just hope that I don't have yet right now request response, and from here I will be just simply logging out as well as redirecting the user. So let me even check. First of all, I'm logging in, registering, login, secrets, home page. That's it, nothing else. So I can just simply log out the user from here. How will I log out the user? In order to log out the user, you have to go here and you have to go to sign logout method and check exactly which one is being used. So by the way, this should be a post request. That's crazy. But okay, I can use the get request right now. In order to make it a post request, I'll have to change that a lot. I'll have to change a lot of things. Let's simply go with this much. And I think even get request should just do the job right now. So logout function, this should actually be a post, but not the best way to do it right now. So logout and error, and that's it. I'm gonna be redirecting the user to the login page. It's gonna be just like this. Let's check this thing out, and if I come back here, reload the page, I'm redirected here. Let's try to log in with that same demo@gmail.com, and let's enter the password and login. Turns out login did not succeed. Why? Don't know. Let's try it one more time. So this is the Gmail, and password. Login is failing. Interesting. What is the? I must be getting some kind of error. One more time. Maybe password is wrong. Probably. So what can I do? I can even check whether the password is wrong or not. Why not? So password. So this is the request that actually went. /login post 02 not found. What am I doing there? Whenever I'm trying to log in, at the time I enter this secrets login, it is failing over here, right? That means probably what? Probably the password is not right. So let's go to the home page right now, just like this. I can register a new account. Let's make it a new @gmail.com, and password is gonna be password 1234. Register. I'm registered. I can click on logout. I'm logged out. I'm here. let's enter that new Gmail again. So new@gmail.com. I can just simply do one thing, password 1234, login, and yeah, I'm logged in. So ultimately the last time mainly the password was wrong. I can just simply log out from here and that does the job. Pretty much interesting. Why not let's do the same thing or on in the sense without taking the help of anything else. But SQL is being used over here and it's been a long time using SQL, so do not ask me to do that. SQL. Will I be able to do that? Interesting question. Let's have a look at this one time. Salt rounds are there, session is there, everything else is there, initializing is there, connect is there, home.ejs is there, is authenticated is there. So far so good. I don't even need to worry about it. I can just simply check them out. Strategy. The most important part is going to be the strategy, and that is it, nothing else. Especially inside this one I have to just serialize some of the things. And when it comes to the strategy, I will be username field and first of all I will be select everything from users where email is gonna be this $1 and I will be providing the email over here. That's fine. Then I will check result.rows.length is greater than 0 or not, because I may get many users, right? So that it should be greater, right? Okay, if it is greater, then I will be getting the user from the row 0 thing. That's kind of, I will have to just try test and trial thing. Okay, stored hashed password user.password, so that's okay. And then bcrypt compare, I'm comparing the things and all over here. Mail, it is used for logging. Stored password and error, if there's any error. Valid, if that's valid. If there's any error, I will be returning the callback. If that is valid, in that case I will be just returning null and user, otherwise null and false. And else this db error. I think I can do it. What do you think? So this is the first one, because it's been really long time having worked with this as well, so going to be problematic, but we should be giving it a try. And then from here I'm actually getting the email and password. Once I'm getting them, then db select everything from users where this okay, fine. After that check rows.length, check result.rows.length is this. Email already exists, try logging in, otherwise hashing the password. So bcrypt.hash, I will be hashing the password error and hash. Once that is done, if there's any error, otherwise hashed password, insert into users email and password. Values are going to be returning. I will be returning everything from there. Once that is returned, then I will be logging and once that the user is logged in, then that's it, nothing else. Why not? I mean, let's give it a try. In order to do this, first of all, let's re-download this thing, because I don't want to work on the front end side, because those things are quite obvious. So it's better to just simply work on the back end side and all. Back end side in the sense, first of all I'll go to my learning. First and foremost important thing. Then let's click on this one. Managing cookies and sessions, password, sessions and cookies. And then this is the next one, environment variable. So I had better just simply go with this one, password strategies, this is the one. And after that, until unless I actually work on the things on my own, nothing's gonna be clear, right? Doesn't matter how much I explain, and it should be clear. So this is the file that I've actually got, and inside this file I just have normal code, so that's fine. And this time I will even be using the store. Okay, so this is the, again I have solution.js. Let's do one thing. First of all, delete everything from here. We have just this code, And this is pretty much simple code. Many things are, oh my god. Let's do one thing. It's already going to be connected like this. Let's go with another thing. Just a sec. Okay, let's do one thing. I will be just getting everything done from scratch. Scratch in the sense, let me do that and then I'll show you. Close this. I think I can just write. This is the session. And I'm gonna be just simply removing this particular thing from here. Just like this. I will be creating index.js file and let's get it done. That's actually a folder. Let's open it with the code. Oh, come on, I've turned my camera off too. Alright, let's create, let me turn the camera on first of all. So overall, this is actually what happening over here. I have these files and all. Even I have partials, that is just footer and header, and then home.ejs, login page, register page, secret page. That is it, public, partials. So ultimately there is no logic as such, only this much I have. Public CSS, just like this. And one more thing that I need to create, one more, that's gonna be index.js over here. Okay, let's get it implemented. Like, I do want to just work on it on my own completely. So let's see. First of all, I have to create a basic server, and after that I will be getting the other things done. So app dot turns out what am I using over here? Module import express from express. I'm quite in the habit of working with the TypeScript, so it's gonna be problematic a bit because TypeScript gives you lots of suggestions. In JavaScript you don't get suggestions. Never mind. Okay, const app is gonna be equals to this. Okay, once this particular thing is done, then I will be just one more thing. I need to have port const port is gonna be, again I need to have one more thing over here, that's gonna be dot env file, and inside that I will have my port is gonna be 3000 for now. Not only that, I'll have some other things. let's see, I'll figure them out. So port is gonna be process.env.port, otherwise by default it's gonna be 3000. And after that app.listen, it will be listening on the port, and at the end I will be getting this particular thing. So CLG server is running on port dollar and the particular port name. App dot get slash, and that's gonna be the home page. So I will be getting request, I will be getting response, and response dot again render is going to be used because of course I want to render. What do I want to render? I want to render home dot EJS page, and let's see whether it's gonna be just working as expected or not. By the way, I will be using NodeMon over here. I just hope that I have a NodeMon version, and turns out I do not have that. So npm install as a dev dependency, I will be installing NodeMon, and once I actually have that, so inside my package.json I'll just simply make it dev, and I'll say that NodeMon and index.js is gonna be there. That is it, and I hope I have my NodeMon over here as a dev dependency. I do have that. After that I can just simply run npm run dev. Interesting. First thing, there is no database in the sense I'm not even connecting to any database. So why am I facing this issue? Error listen. Okay, 3000 port is already being used, but I have only one. Let's make it 3001. Why not? It's gonna be 3001 right now, and env, this is actually gonna be 3001. I can even make it 3000 by default. From the environment variable I'll be getting 3001. Let's run it again, npm run dev, and wow, npm, one more thing, npm install.env. Once I have this, I will be importing this over here as well. So import.env/config, like this, it should be working. Oh, come on, npm run dev, and now it is running. Great. So as it is running right now, so I should be able to visit the page, localhost 3000, that is it, and this is the page that I'm actually getting. Don't worry about it. The next thing is that I have to actually work on this register, and especially if I want to work on it, so I have to have a look at this. The method is gonna be post. First of all, register is gonna be something like this. From here I'm actually sending my email. The name really matters over here, so the name is actually a username. In that name I actually want to change, I want to keep the username email. First of all, this particular thing, and then password is gonna be password, that is fine, but this is how I will be going ahead with the things. By the way, there is a button, and that button is what? Sign up with Google. This will be worked on later on, and I will work on it directly. Why not? I mean, let's work on this particular functionality as well. So let me uncomment it directly, just like this. So sign up with Google will actually appear over there. So if I come here, reload the page, well, that does not appear. That is actually the register page. Yeah, this should actually be inside login page. Okay, I mean, it is actually at both the places. That's fine. Sign in with Google, and the same thing is mentioned here, right? Sign up with Google, sign in, sign up, both of them are quite the same, so I don't need to worry about it. Having said that, right now this is really a good way. Like, you don't really need to focus on the front end side, rather you actually can focus on the back end one. Okay, by the way, I made it email because of course I want to configure it the way I want, and apart from this particular thing, what I want here that let's try it. First of all, I have to even render my register page, so app.get and slash register is gonna be the path, and then I have to just simply render what I have to render response dot render. I have to render, and I have to render register dot EGS, just like this. So let's even check whether I'm actually able to get the page or not. So reload it right now. Not only that, let me even render the login page, so I can just copy and paste the same thing. I'll just simply mention login over here and login.egs. Let's check this thing out. Click on register, you are on the register page. Click on the login, you are on the login page. Again, I'm not working, I'm not taking care of the functionality part. That's gonna be like especially this particular front end part, because that's gonna be easy, so don't worry about that. So these two things are done, then I will be clicking on this register page, and that's gonna be actually a post request dot post slash register and request response, and just like this. Okay, then the same way I will have different ones over here, but first of all, as for this register ones, as soon as I get the data, I actually need to save the data and all. And when it comes to saving the data, I already have a backend, so I will be using that because things are configured over there, so it would be better to just simply use that over here. And that is actually not WhatsApp DB, not worried about this. Testing test is what? It has user and post. Where are they coming from? I have no idea. Then something called secrets. I think this is the one that I actually need to use over here. So secrets is gonna be the database, right? So let's do that. And especially when it comes to this this user, so I can say public.users, right? Continue. First of all, delete from public.users. Run it. Everything got deleted successfully. If I try to get the data right now, it's gonna be like this. Okay, reload the page, click on register. I'm here. I will be just simply entering these two things, and I should be able to get the things done. But even before that, I'm mainly using PG over here. So PG DB, what does this even stand for? Postgres SQL. So if I want to use Postgres SQL, so I have two ways. Either I can go with Prisma or I can go with this directly. Interesting. Let's go with this directly over here. So when it comes to using this, so let's go through the documentation. 18, getting started, installation. Isn't this insane? I mean, crazy. Creating a database. The documentation is awkward here. It turns out it is like this, view manual. I'm not gonna be getting the things from here. This documentation is crazy. Let's go with this one, Postgres tutorial, and it will just simply say that how I can actually get started and all. So let's click on get started, and okay, where is the basic code? pgadmin for no home intro install. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Seriously? Nothing is mentioned here. Postgres create, they are just simply creating the things directly over here. Okay, let's do one thing, search something like this, and come on, close this. Postgres with a Node.js. Node Postgres, welcome, Dhanyavad. Let's try this thing out right now. First of all, I need to install npm install pg if I actually want to use this. So Control C. Let's stop the server that is running. Let's simply install the remaining things. npm install pg for using Postgres and all. Just after that, oh my god. First of all, I will be getting a client. So like this, client will be from pg and await client.connect. So the client is going to be connected like this, and that is it. It will be done. So it's that simple. But this is not that simple. Over here what they are saying that using this you will actually get a client, and once you got the client you can just simply run the queries, right? But am I doing the same way over here? First of all, new pg.client, I'm actually getting db over here. Things are different. New pg client. First of all, of course, pg I'm actually getting from pg, and there are two ways, right? Client, new client, and client.connect. It will automatically connect to that. Okay, so there are many methods. This is one of them. pg pool is here, result is here, tries is here, cursor is here, utilities are here. If I click on the API, mainly click on the welcome section. So first of all, the easiest way could be I can go with this. Okay, getting started. And the second thing is that when it comes to API, so there is something called pg client, and this pg client helps me configure the things, and then user, password, host, port, and this. Then I will actually get the client from here. Once I got the client from here, client connect, I'll have to connect the client, and once the client is connected, I should be able to use the client everywhere else. And let's go through it properly. First of all, in every field of config object entirely option, a client instance will use environment variables for all missing values. Environment variables for all missing values. So all of them are optional, right? I can just simply say that I can have something called pg user, default process or processor user, this pg password, pg host, pg port, so I can use them. Interesting. And that's gonna be good. I think I must be awaiting that here too. So as soon as I have this, then I'm connecting it too. So exactly the same thing I'm doing over here. The only thing is that I'm specifying the things over here, and what I can actually do that as all these fields are optional, so it will actually get everything from the database side, I mean environment variable side. So let's copy this thing, pg user. Let's go through this environment variable. pg user is gonna be here. Just after pg user, what I have after pg user, I will have the password. So pg password, control C, pg password, host, pg host, and just after that, after pg host, I'm gonna be having pg port. Just below that I will have pg port, and then I will have database. So pg database, just like this, pg database, exactly what will be the database name. So pg user is gonna be what? Pg user is gonna be Postgres, if I'm not wrong. I just hope that's the same thing. pg user database name, database user, so that's the same thing, right? Just a second, examples are not there. pg user, I haven't even mentioned it here, that's crazy. I hope I have mentioned it at the top. Yeah, that's Postgres, fine. What is the next thing? pg password, that's gonna be Postgres 1234, if I'm not wrong, actually. Not even so confident about that, but I hope that's the one. After that, maybe that's 3241. pg host is gonna be localhost. pg port is gonna be, what port do we use usually? 5432. And what the port that's being used over here? 5334. Interesting, port can be anything, so let's 5432. pg database, that's gonna be actually testing one, and that's it, nothing else. Let's simply fix them. Okay, okay, so this particular thing is done. Once this particular thing is actually done, then I can actually get my pg. So import pg from pg, this is insane. How will I be importing it? I will actually be getting client from there, new client, that is actually fine too. So let's get the client. So new client is gonna be here, just like this. So let's do one thing, get the client only, client, client, just like this. And I hope I'm doing the same thing here. Yeah, pg client. I'm actually getting the pg first of all, and then I'm getting the client. So pg is gonna be from there by default, that's fine. And once I got my client, and then after that, over here, const client, come on, client, client is gonna be equals to new client. Just like, I don't even have to provide anything, this is gonna be there by default. From the process.environment variables, I will be getting everything, and then await. I can't really use await over here, so what method are they actually using? Not this one, just here. They're actually awaiting, but I actually need to create a function then. Function connect db, just like this. Inside that function I will have this, and I'll actually make this function async. Just below that I will say that await and client dot connect, and this client will not be accessible outside, so I even need to let client is gonna be, or let's just simply keep it at the top. I'll just simply be connecting that, and once that is connected, I'll be calling connect DB just like this. So I'm actually connecting the DB over here. Once the DB is actually got connected, then I'm simply getting the, I already have the client. Using the client, I can just do the things, remaining things. Okay, so client dot and the remaining stuff. Interesting. What is the next thing? Next thing is nothing. Simply when it comes to the register, you will be getting the email and password, but for even getting that, you will have to use app.use express.url encoded extended is gonna be true, and you may send the data in the JSON format as well. For that particular thing, app.use express.json just like this. So first of all, you are using these middlewares over here. These middlewares, use them later, but even first of all, connect it to the database. This is how I'm gonna be going ahead, and that is it. One more thing, const salt. 10 times I'm gonna be just simply using the salt over here, and that is something I will definitely use, so why not. So inside this particular thing, first of all, const I'll be getting my email and I will getting my password. Once I got them, I'll be getting them from request.body. Once I actually got them, after that, if not email or not password, if I don't have any one of them, in that case, return, I can't even return a response dot status is gonna be 400 dot JSON in the JSON format. Can't do that. Because I'm using JSON over here. In that case, I have to go with the JSON format. Let's see exactly how that's being used over here. So I'm just simply returning the files, and after that, whenever I'm trying to register, at that time, if there's any error, I'm just simply logging the error, rather I'm not really doing anything. That's insane. And redirecting the user. So there's a difference, like when you actually work with EJS, so you will have to go with that format, especially when it comes to sending the data. I'm not even doing that, like not really sending the data anywhere. Okay, I must be sending the data inside secrets. Let's see. So secrets, kind of I'm not even doing that. Okay, fine. So what can I actually do over here? Nothing. I'll just simply log the data. This is the only way that I have. CLG. All the FIR fields are required in return from you. So return in the sense what? Nothing. But this is insane here. I mean, let's see what will happen right here. Elements, console, register. First of all, it's not even running. Crazy. npm run them. This has started. Right now, of course, there should be 3000 to 1 and register. And here we are. First thing, again, sign up with Google we have over here. That is a good thing. The first, refuse the apply style, because supported style string. Get 3000 to us. What is this now? I'm definitely trying to register, but this is never triggering. post slash register. Why is this even never triggering? Alert registering. It stopped if I'm not wrong. It hasn't stopped yet, but reload the page. Slash this site cannot be reached. Localhost 3001. I'm here. The next thing is that I will be just doing this. Alert is not defined. Blah. Okay, interesting. Let's do one thing. CLG email is gonna be email. CLG password is gonna be password. Register. In turns out, as soon as I clicked on register, it is just simply returning nothing. So let's even return something. Return response dot. Come on, response dot JSON. Hi. Okay, I'm getting email and password over here. All fields are required. So yeah, I'm getting the error. That's fine. Okay, once I'm actually getting the error, what is the next thing that I can do? Because I'm using EJS over here, so I have to go directly from here. So I will be just simply returning it. Returning in the sense, I will be redirecting the user. Redirect. So response dot redirect the user to the slash login page only. So right now, form submission, reload the page. If I try to slash login, oh, register, yeah. Register. .gs. Will this work? Not really sure, but I'm already on the login page first of all, so this should be register. Register your .gs, never redirected. So let's do one thing. It's gonna be slash register like this if I'm not wrong. Reload the page, click on this. Yeah, I'm actually redirected over here. If I just enter something, I'm again at the rate gmail.com and I'm redirected here again. Ultimately it will simply say that, bro, all the fields are required, come on, what are you doing? This is where it simply goes. I can even just simply give it some values while redirecting, but I'm not doing that. That's fine. And once I actually enter all the fields, then this should never happen. Return the response.json and that's gonna be message. Hi. Let's try this thing out as well. By the way, I'm getting hi. Otherwise, I'm not going anywhere. I can just enter any password. Still, I will go nowhere. That is okay. By the way, this much is done so far. So once this thing is actually done, then I will be just first of all. This is the backend side. Register is here. Post method is gonna be this. Then once I got the email, then I will be even checking the user. So const user is gonna be what? Forget about the user. Let's check out the result. How will I be getting that? So client that I have client.query. And I have my query over here. That simply means that select don't even know whether select everything from where. Select everything from users that I already have. Where email is gonna be equals to $1 and that dollar is gonna be email, just like this. And after that, CLG result. Just as simple as that. Once this thing is actually done, let's see what's gonna happen. Let's simply enter this email, any password right now. Let's simply click on register. I'm actually getting high, but I'm not worried about that. I'm mainly worried about this. Relation users does not exist. Thank you. Really? Select everything from users. Where email is this? This should be right, bro. Where isn't this right? I need to await it if I'm not wrong. So whenever I'm trying to just even get a query like get the data from the database, I need to even await it. Once I'm awaiting it, I should be getting the right result. By the way, I don't want anything over here. It's just gonna be a simple thing. At the end I can say that simply a response dot render slash, or yeah, the render slash register page only, so that at least I'm on the same page. Register.ejs, just gonna be like this, and let's try it now. Reload the page. I can do it today. What the hell? It's not running. Interesting. Oh wow, 3001. Why is this even happening? Users does not exist. Great job. A try catch block for which CLG error registering the user, and the error is gonna actually be here. Again, let's give it a try. By the way, it actually started it, so that's fine. Okay. And this is the error that I'm actually getting. It is simply saying that register users does not exist. Is the client users does not exist. If I'm not wrong, it is already getting all the environment variables from here. We are pg user Postgres 3241, post host localhost 5432, and database is gonna be testing. Database is gonna be secrets. Yep. Now users does not exist. Let's start it again and let's see whether it's actually gonna work or not. Register it. And yeah, I'm getting the result from there. That's good. Email and password. So inside the result I have something called rows, and in the first index I will get the values. Suppose this over here, const user is gonna be equals to result dot rows dot zeroth index CLG, and I will be just printing the user just like this. I have result, row count, OID, field, so field name, table ID, column ID, data ID, field name, table ID, column ID, data ID, field, blah 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 blah. So many things at the same time. Let's simply reload the page again, and this time I am getting one user but without any email. That means the password. Where is this even coming from? Now I'm getting this data. Can't set headers after they are sent to the client and all. Wow, I have this. Interesting. It got registered automatically. Impressive. okay, can do one thing. Let's write the whole code, and then after that I will be just fixing the errors, because right now overall things are working fine. So once I actually got my user, what will I have to do next? Once I actually got my user, because I'm trying to register over here, so if the user is actually already exists, if user is already there, in that case clg user already exists, just like that. In else case I'll just simply go on. There is no such kind of error that I can send. Crazy. Okay, never mind. If the user does not exist, in that case what will you do? In that case I will create the user. So const result is gonna be wow, here I'm not getting the error. Interesting. So in else case this is gonna be like this. This is gonna be the check result. Paste it over here. Await client dot query insert into what all I have over here. I have email and I have password. Email and password. And what all values going to be there? Values are gonna be $1 and $2. That is it. Email and password. This is how I'm even inserting the values right now. I was getting the values, I inserted the values over here. Then clg result, I would like to check the result as well. Let's try it. Nothing will happen over here. That is for sure. User already exists. That's right. Empty name. Why not? Syntax error and all. After that, I can just use this, register it, and this time the user is actually going to be registered. User hasn't been registered yet. Interesting. Register error, syntax error near let's do one thing first of all. Let's go here, delete from users. Successfully done. Reload the page right now. Come on, I should be getting it. Okay, now if I just try to register, nothing will happen, and I hope nothing is happening over here. Is still getting this error. Error registering the user. Error syntax is at near this particular line. Index of this line number 49. Over here I actually got the error. Insert into email password. I have email and I have password. Values are gonna be like this. How do we even insert the values? That is something I'll have to have a look. So insert into users, email and password, values $1, $2, and returning, you will be just going to be returning the response and all, and then that's gonna be that $1 and $2, and that's exactly what I'm doing here if I'm not wrong. insert into users. Sorry for that. Insert into users, and where I have to just this is the schema values $1 $2. Let's check this thing out again. Register it right now. Check this thing out at the end of the day, and this is the response that I'm actually getting from there. What is the response right now? There are no rows that I'm actually getting, so because I'm just simply inserting the value, so I can just simply say that row returning everything. And if I just try to do that again, and then let's see this thing out again. First of all, it should never run actually, but okay, it is actually saving the value. That's interesting. But what am I checking first of all at the top? I'm checking for this, but I'm never returning it. That's again crazy thing. I should just simply return it from here. If the user I have to return from here as well. So if email and password are empty, then I have to return from here, and after that I have to check the user. If the user already exists, then okay. If the user already exists, in that case user already exists, and I will return from here. If the user does not exist, then I will go with this particular thing from here. So that's what I'm doing over here. One more time. First of all, delete from users. Done. Select everything from users. Done. Nothing is here. After that, run it. Let's go here. What am I gonna be getting at the end of the day? All fields are required. That's fine. Let's enter all the fields. This one and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Register, and as soon as I registered, I did get the user information, and once because the user information is not even hashed, and password is not hashed yet, but ultimately I'm getting the things. What is the next thing that I can actually do? This thing is fine, but before even that I have to hash the password. So let's get it here. Import decrypt from decrypt, and I have to hash the password. Decrypt dot hash data and the salt number. What is going to be the data? Data is gonna be actually the password, and salt number is gonna be this. And after that I am gonna be getting some kind of callback. Over there I will have either, and I will have encrypted just like this. Once I actually have that, then if there's any error, if there's actually any error, then in that case I'll say clg error hashing the password, and I can say that error is gonna be there, and I will be returning it just like this. Otherwise, if there's no error, that means that is already encrypted. Then I should be able to save the data here. Just like this. By the way, await is not here, that means I have to make it async. Should be fine. So I'm just simply saving the data. Once I've actually saved the data, then I should be getting the user. So const created user is gonna be equals to result dot rows and 0th index clg created user. That is it. Let's check this thing out whether I'm actually able to create the user. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. First of all, it will check whether the user exists or not, and because the user exists, in that case it will just simply give me the error saying Okay, just a second. Okay, user already exists. I knew that I would get that. So what is the next thing that I can do? Let's change the email a little bit. Let's make it capital. It will still give me the same. Oh no, there is a difference between the email. Uh, this is a bug actually. User email needs to be what? I forgot the name. What is that thing called? Caseless in the sense of uppercase and lowercase, they should be the same, but okay, never mind. Right now it is like that, and I'm able to create the user. That means if I just go here and I just simply select all the users, so I'm gonna be getting 2 users. The thing is that even the second user that I created is that it does not have the hashed password. Interesting, mainly because I'm not using that. So instead of using password over here, I will be using encrypted over here. I can even say encrypted password just like this, and I will be just using this, or better I can say hashed password, and I will be using hashed password over here. Then this is going to be saved. Once this is actually saved, then what will I be doing? Because I'm registering over here and I'm gonna be using post passport, so I can say once I actually got the information of the user at that time, then I have to call something called request.login, just like this. Inside this I have to provide the user, so and then done in one function. So user is gonna be actually created user just like this, and then there's gonna be a function. Inside that function I will be just having some of the things. Okay, let's even try this thing out right now. So let's go to the passport section. This is gonna be the password, and whenever we are actually logging the user, or maybe signing up the user, at that time this is all that's gonna run. That is for sure fine with that. So but whenever I'm actually signing up the user, this sign up happens. Last ID is okay. So I'll have my user, and then I'll have a function that will simply give me there. If there is an error, then something else, otherwise response and redirect to the user. I will be getting the error over here. I'll simply say that if there's any error, CLG error creating the user, logging the user, error logging the user. I will be just simply giving the error over here. Not only that, I will redirect the user to what? /secrets. Alright, so this particular thing is done. And once this particular thing is done, and that's it, I don't really need to worry about anything. If there's any error, then I will be even throwing this CLG, and I will be returning from here. So overall, I'm already done. If there's any error, in that case, I'm just a sec, it should be outside, something like this, and redirect the user to /login page only. Should I do that? Yeah, if there's any error while logging, so why not redirect the user over there, and otherwise this particular thing is gonna be happening over there, and that is it. Let's try this thing out right now. Again, many things are missing right now. This should be kind of working fine, but it is definitely not gonna work right now. So apart from this particular thing, let's get some extra things done. Import passport from passport, import session from express session, import strategy from local, and I can name it let's name it strategy only. So I got this strategy. Once I have these many things, and just after that DB needs to be connected, that is for sure. Just here app.use first of all session, and I will be just giving the options over here. So what are those options going to be? First of all secret. Again let's use process.env.session secret here. I can go to my .env file and I can create a session secret, my just example right now, super session secret, just like this. So once I have then resave, if this is gonna be actually false, what I forgot the another one. Let's check that thing out. What is the next one? I can go to my login prompt, and over here the another one was not mentioned here. Verify password. The another one is what? Which one? Come on, those things are not even mentioned here. How can I even connect it to my database? Establish session, it must be mentioned here. So I have secret, I have save uninitialized. So save uninitialized, that's also gonna be false. Just something like this. And one session are actually here done. And nothing else. I mean, this should be working for now. Apart from this particular thing, app.use. I will be initializing the passport. So initialize. Once the passport is initialized, app.use passport.session. I will be even using the passport session. This will be using for deserialization. Deserialization only. So that is something that needs to be kept in mind. Once all these things are done, then whenever I'm actually registering the user, so request.login is getting called, it will actually trigger that particular strategy. I don't even have the strategy over here, so let's create this strategy. So app.use and local and new strategy. I think this is how the strategy is, and then inside this I will be getting some of the options. Again, let's take the help of the documentation and see whether we are going in the right direction or not. So in order to check that particular thing, so deserialization is okay. I can go to inside login prompt, and inside login prompt I will be getting the strategy, not here. Then verify password, I will be getting the strategy over here, and this is the strategy, local strategy. Alright, by the way, this is gonna be the local strategy, and I can even name it better so that I don't get confused. So I can go at the top, this strategy will be named as the local strategy, and just check as, then I will be using this local strategy everywhere. So once I have this particular local strategy over here, then I can just simply continue from here on. So this local strategy, I have these things over here. I can copy it all, or I can just do the things on my own, depends on me. But let's do one thing. First of all, what I'm doing over here, this local strategy actually has a function, something that is called verify, and it will be getting 3 things as parameters, right? So this local strategy actually has a function. Let's make it like this, and the main name is gonna be verify, and this function is gonna be actually like this. Inside this particular function, I will be getting 3 things. One thing, first is gonna be the username, second one is gonna be password, and third is gonna be the callback. Not only that, because I'm using local over here, so I have mentioned it. This is even optional, you can simply remove it, but I'm gonna be keeping it here. And local is fine. One more thing that I'm gonna be doing over here, that's gonna be user field, username FIELD field is gonna be email. I hope this is gonna be right, but I have to check this thing. So let's do one thing, let's take the help of Google here and ask ChatGPT whether it is right or wrong. If I'm not wrong, this is definitely right, but I should ask it once. Is this right so far? Almost but not quite. You are mixing passport.use signature local strategy. New local strategy. Okay, this should be inside. Sorry, my bad. And remaining things are fine. New local strategy, that should be fine. Okay, I don't really worry about this particular code. I can get it easily, not really big problem. But before that, this actually should be inside that, not outside that. That was my bad. So I can actually keep it inside this particular function, like inside this thing, just right here. So I will have a user field, and then this. By the way, this local is completely optional, but let's see whether this much is gonna be right or not. Again, when you are using local strategy, you are very close. But app.use for express middleware. Thank you. So instead of using the app middleware, like this middleware over here, I should be using passport.use, just like this. And I think that must be used in the documentation as well, if I just check it properly. Passport.use and then new local strategy. I just wanna see that whether that field is optional or not. So let's do one thing. That is definitely optional if I'm not wrong. But let's see. You are almost there, but there's one remaining mistake. Passport use local passport.use does not take a strategy name first argument. So it does not take the strategy, as simple as that. I thought that to be local already registers itself under the name local. So wrong callback email username field. You're still using username, but since you made that's okay. I'm gonna be actually using email over there. This is crazy. So over here I'm actually gonna be using email, just like this, and let's continue from here on. By the way, write the remaining business logic here. By the way, inside that particular callback, when it comes to this, so it will be taking the header, it will be taking the user information, and it will take the options and all. By the way, these two things I'm gonna be playing with, and let's see how it's gonna be going on. That was it. I will be coming back and I'll actually start working on it from here on. Let's see. By the way, it is my first time just doing it on my own, and that is why I'm just trying to do everything manually, but later I may just do it really quick. That was it. I'm gonna be catching up soon.